Are you interested to know what the secrets of success to real estate is?
And it's not having commission breath.
Mic drop. You got to tune into this episode of Really Mary and hear what Kole Bartos has to say, a top 30 under 30 about this topic.
Make you more money.
Really, Mary?
Welcome back to Really Mary. Super excited and delighted to have Kole Bartos on the show today. I mean, let's be real. To have my own son to talk about how cool he is, whoa, really awesome. Whoa. So, Kole, you've recently been awarded a 30 under 30 award, and people want to know, what is your strategy to success? I think I know what they are, but I'm going to let you talk first.
Okay. Yeah. Strategies for success. We're not reinventing the wheel. So I think the really cool thing that you guys and we have set up is a team. So having people around you that can take those tasks that you're not really good at. First and foremost, I'm really good at talking to people, but I may or may not be good at doing emails or doing projects on contracts or, you know, the delegation.
Paperwork.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Now, that's great, but also you have to do the work. So the thing that I'm really good at, I think, is putting in the work, treating it like a career. So I think in real estate, it's interesting. People say, hey, I want to work for myself. So I want to be a realtor or I want to be self-employed. But what they don't do is they don't wake up every single day and treat it like a job. So we're in the office 5 days a week minimally and then on appointments. And we stay committed to what our expectation is, making the calls, prospecting, setting goals and keeping them in front of you. And that's important in any business and in real estate.
Absolutely. You know, I think one of the things that I noticed best, and you kind of went through those pretty quickly, but your habits, what you do with that day-to-day, the mundane. So your habits of calling,
right?
Follow up. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, I think it all comes down to routine. It comes down to being able to do the routine of your day-to-day calls. I set tasks and I'm talking to minimally 20 people every single day. I stay committed to that. And out of that comes appointments, but really what we're looking to do is help people understand what equity they have in their homes on the sell side, you know, what their options are on the buy side, and whether they're thinking about buying, selling, renting, investing, whatever that looks like, and whatever timeline that may be, is being the knowledge broker, helping them understand what they can do and how they can leverage that asset.
So, yeah, that talks about a little bit about what you're saying to folks and the fact that you have 20 calls. But, you know, I think, you know, the money is made in the follow-up.
Yes.
And you talked about a task. So for a new agent that doesn't really understand a task, you know, describe that a little bit more.
Yeah, so in our CRM, where we hold all of our prospects and our customers, where I can really get in and see what I've done with these folks. If you're telling me essentially you're looking to, you know, look at your home value in a year or in 6 months or in 2 weeks, or on the buy side, you're looking to come into town and see properties around that time. What we're doing is we're setting tasks so that we can proactively stay in front of our folks, as well as keep them in the loop. You know, their job is not to reach out to us. It's our job to reach out to them, right, and help them understand what that process is like to, again, be the knowledge broker. I think habits are super important. And in real estate especially, I think it's good to have a healthy work-life balance. So figure out what you like to do on the work side and how you can balance your home life. So I'm really big on routine, you know, waking up in the morning and going to the gym and getting a win before I come to the office, because I'm a better person when I know that I've done the things I need to do in my personal life and it doesn't bleed into business.
And that's wonderful. I mean, you know, the morning routine is something that you're really focused in on, with the gym, with what you do to prepare even before you get here.
Right.
And then it's, you know, like you said, working a job. It's, you know, again, when people get in, sorry if you're one of those folks, I'm only going to work, you know, when I want to work. Well, then we only make the kind of money that maybe is scraps. But to make a career out of this and to have a full-time income, to not have to work a job, you know, somebody else, it really takes dedication and determination. I love a lot of other things that you do.
Yeah, I'll speak to that too, because I think it's important for people to understand that you need accountability, because no one wakes up every day and says, I want to make 100 phone calls and not get the best outcome and do it day in and day out without the results you may want to get. But I think if you look at it as, I want to make X amount of money, or I want to do these things with my life, what's my why, you can back that out. And then you have people around you. Like, for instance, here in the Bartos group, we have that accountability put into our team, and we've got a ton of collaboration. So it really works well as a big group effort.
I love one of the things that you do. Somebody's tracking on a goal, and you'll call them on the side and say, hey, call it a bet, call it whatever you want to call it.
Makes it fun.
Who's going to win the day by the number of whatever?
I'll say this, if you're in sales, you're competitive. you are competitive is what you are in sales. And if you can't make it fun and you can't have those games internally that keeps you motivated, because motivation comes and goes, it's really important to keep things light and be able to get to where you want to be, but not have to make it a mundane task.
Absolutely. One of the other things I love that you do is your numbers. Mm-hmm. So how many conversations you have to get an appointment to get a pending, how many listings you want to carry. All of that goes into the math, and then it just becomes simple math.
It does. You can back it out if you're looking to sell X many homes or do X many in income. You can back that out to appointments and how many conversations it would take you to get to an appointment, and then from there, on a day-to-day basis, what do I have to do? It's very simple once you get to those numbers, and then it's just training to get better at them. And the more people you knock on their door or talk to them, the more results you're going to get.
Absolutely. One last thing that I don't know is not being focused on the outcome. The outcome is necessarily you want the deal,
right?
But let's use a word, commission breath. Mm-hmm. I love how you've positioned that in your mind. You celebrate for the people for the right reasons.
Right. And I think we've touched on it in all of these points. It's understanding how I can be of service to a couple or to someone that's looking to either buy or sell. Maybe it's they're not in the time to sell their house. It doesn't make sense, but maybe it makes sense for them to go and rent it out at some capacity, or maybe it makes sense for them to go talk to one of our insurance guys to get their insurance quotes better. What we're here to be is the knowledge broker and someone that's of service, whether that's buying, selling, or doing something different with it. We want to be that white glove service.
And then that advisor, I think that's the new word that I love these days, is how can I be that advisor? Is it to rent the property? Are we going to take a loss? What do we need to do? Those are things that I've really watched you put into your business.
Mm-hmm. And it's important to, people are people. They're going to do things for their own reasons. But we're also buying and selling real estate. So I understand it doesn't make sense in many markets or some markets to, go and sell it. But if you're going to do something else with it, people want to know their options. And you're there to give them those options.
I love that. So it is a huge honor to have someone that's under 30. So the top 30 in Tom Ferry organization, which is where we have many of the top agents out there. Kole is one of those. He's actually at the very top of that list. So, I always say, hey, your income is the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And we sure would like to, if this is not a recruiting pitch, but if you've thought about changing brokerages or you just want to have more information, Kole, what should they do?
Yeah, you can reach out to us here at the Bartos Group, or we're doing a panel with our brokerage at Premier Plus. That's going to be in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for the info on that. And happy to share some insight. Again, we're super collaborative, but to her point, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so might as well spend it with the people that are doing the right things.
And making the most money. Okay, you don't have to have commission breath if you want to still make money. So until next time, I'm Mary Bartos with the Bartos Group of Premier Plus.
And I'm Kole Bartos. Looking forward to seeing what's next for everyone.
Until then.